Welcome back to the channel, Rare Coins Collection. If you've ever wondered if your spare change could be worth a small fortune, you're in for a treat today. We're diving into the 1999 United States dime, a coin that might just be hiding in your pocket change, and it could be worth way more than you think. Stick around until the end, because we're going to reveal just how much this dime could be worth today, and trust me, the number will surprise you. So let's jump right in and explore what makes the 1999 dime a hidden gem in the world of rare coins. Let's start with some quick history. The 1999 dime was minted during the presidency of Bill Clinton. It was a time when the United States was experiencing economic growth, and the country was enjoying a period of prosperity at the tail end of the 1990s. The economy was booming, the stock market was hitting record highs, and technology was advancing at an unprecedented pace. But what does all that have to do with our coin? Well, while the economy was thriving, there were still a few quirks and mistakes in the coin minting process, leading to rare and valuable pieces like the 1999 dime. In terms of design, the 1999 dime is very familiar. The coin still carries the iconic image of Franklin D. Roosevelt, who has been featured on the dime since 1946. The reverse side showcases a torch, olive branch, and oak branch, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. But as simple as it may seem, certain versions of this coin are incredibly rare and could be worth far more than just 10 cents. Let's take a closer look at the design of the 1999 dime. On the obverse, or front, we have Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, designed by artist John R. Sinek. Roosevelt's image has been featured on the dime for decades, and it's one of the most recognizable faces in U.S. coinage. The inscriptions around the coin read, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and 1999, the year the coin was minted. On the reverse, the design is just as symbolic, showing a torch surrounded by an olive branch and oak branch, signifying liberty, peace, and strength. These timeless symbols remind us of the foundational values of the United States. The torch is a beacon of freedom, the olive branch represents peace, and the oak branch symbolizes strength. The United States of America inscription is proudly displayed along with the denomination, 1 dime, fit. But here's where it gets interesting. While the 1999 dime may look like just another coin from the late 90s, certain versions of this dime are incredibly valuable. The key to its value lies in rare variants and minting errors that occurred during production. So, what makes these errors so valuable? Well, it's all about rarity, condition, and how much they stand out from the typical dime. One of the most sought-after versions of the 1999 dime is the 1999 PYAM reverse error. Most dimes minted in 1999 show a close AM on the reverse in the word America, where the letters A and M are very close together. However, in some cases, the A and M appear spaced apart, which is a minting error known as the wide AM variety. This wide AM error is highly sought after by collectors because it's rare and is a clear example of how a small mistake can lead to a much higher value. The difference in spacing might seem subtle to the untrained eye, but when you take a closer look at the A and M in America, the gap is quite noticeable. If you find a 1999 PYAM dime, you could be holding onto something incredibly valuable. Now, you may be wondering, why does this matter so much? Isn't it just a small error? Well, the value of a coin goes beyond the rarity of the minting error, it's also about the condition of the coin. In the world of numismatics, coins that have been well preserved are far more valuable than those that show signs of heavy circulation. So, if you find a 1999 wide AM dime that's in pristine, uncirculated condition, it could be worth much more than a dime that's been worn down over time. Collectors love to find coins that are in as close to mint condition as possible. The better the condition of the coin, the higher its value. For example, a 1999 PYAM dime that's uncirculated and free from wear and damage can fetch a significantly higher price than one that's been scratched or heavily circulated. So, what's the bottom line? The 1999 dime might seem ordinary, but the wide AM reverse error makes it a highly prized coin for collectors. And while this error is the most famous, it's not the only thing that can make a dime from 1999 valuable. Certain proof dimes from 1999, which were minted specifically for collectors, can also be valuable, especially if they're in mint condition. In addition to minting errors, the 1999 dime is part of a larger trend in U.S. coinage, where small, seemingly insignificant design flaws can drastically change the value of a coin. The fact that the wide AM dime is so rare means that it's highly sought after by collectors who specialize in minting errors and varieties. If you happen to have one, now you're in the know about just how valuable it could be. Alright, now the moment you've all been waiting for. Just how much is the 1999 P wide AM dime worth? If you're lucky enough to have one of these rare error coins, and especially if it's in pristine condition, you could be sitting on something worth $34,000. Yes, that's $34,000 for a single dime. It's mind-blowing, right? A coin worth just 10 cents in 1999 could be worth $34,000 today if it's one of these rare error varieties. It just goes to show how important it is to examine your coins carefully. You never know, you might have a small fortune hiding right under your nose. And that's it for today's coin adventure. The 1999 United States dime, especially the wide AM error variety, could be worth as much as $34,000 if it's in great condition. So, before you toss those pennies and dimes in a jar or spend them at the store, take a second look. They could be worth far more than you think. Today, we're going to talk about a 1980 United States dime, a seemingly ordinary coin from the early 80s. But here's the kicker, this dime could be worth a lot more than just 10 cents. If you think dimes are just pocket change, think again. Stick around till the end of the video, because we'll be revealing exactly how much this 1980 dime could be worth today. You won't believe your eyes when you find out the value of this small but mighty coin. Let's start with some background. The 1980 dime was minted during a time of significant change in the United States. The country was in the midst of economic challenges, with rising inflation and high interest rates. President Jimmy Carter was in office, and the U.S. economy was experiencing a period of high unemployment and rising oil prices. The 1980s were a pivotal time, setting the stage for a shift in the nation's economic policies and the eventual recovery in the following decade. The 1980 dime represents a snapshot of this unique moment in history. Now, the dime itself hasn't changed much over the years in terms of design. The coin features Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, who has graced the dime since 1946. The reverse side of the coin depicts a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. The 1980 dime carries the same classic design we've come to expect from this coin. On the obverse, we see Franklin D. Roosevelt. Designed by artist John Sinek, Roosevelt's image has been on the dime since 1946, following his death. Roosevelt, who led the nation through the Great Depression and World War II, remains one of the most revered U.S. presidents. The inscriptions around the obverse of the coin include, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and 1980, the year it was minted. On the reverse, we see the iconic design created by Frank Gasparro, which features a torch, symbolizing freedom, an olive branch, representing peace, and an oak branch, a symbol of strength. Surrounding these symbols are the inscriptions, "United States of America," and "1 dime," along with the mint mark that identifies where the coin was produced. So, what makes the 1980 dime special in the world of coin collecting? As with many other coins, it's not just the design that matters, it's the rarity and the condition that can really determine the value of a coin. Over the years, several minting errors have occurred in coins from 1980, and these errors make some dimes worth much more than their face value. Asterisk, one of the most valuable errors you'll want to watch for is the 1980 D dime with a misplaced mint mark. You see, sometimes, coins are struck with an incorrect or misplaced mint mark. In this case, some 1980 dimes were struck with a D mint mark, for the Denver Mint, but with incorrect positioning. The mint mark was sometimes too high or too low on the coin, creating a distinctive and unique error that collectors absolutely love. Another minting error to watch out for is the double die error, where the coin's design is struck twice, creating a doubled appearance. This can be especially noticeable in the date or the word liberty. The double die error is a rare and exciting find, and it can significantly increase the value of a coin, especially if it's in great condition. Now, I can hear some of you asking, but how important is condition when it comes to coin value? The short answer: extremely important. In the world of numismatics, the value of a coin is often determined by its condition, also known as its grade. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. A mint state coin is one that has never been circulated. It looks as if it just came straight from the mint, a coin that's never been used in a transaction. If your 1980 dime is in pristine, uncirculated condition, it could be worth much more than a worn-out dime that's seen years of circulation. Coins that are well preserved and have no signs of wear will be much more appealing to collectors, and they're often worth significantly more. So, what exactly makes the 1980 dime stand out in the world of coin collecting? Well, it's not just the design or its age. The 1980 dime is part of a period where subtle minting errors were happening in the U.S. minting process. Those errors are what make this coin so valuable. The misplaced mint mark and double die errors are what coin collectors are specifically looking for in 1980 dimes. These unique flaws are like hidden treasures that set certain dimes apart from the rest. In addition to the errors, the 1980 dime has been around for quite some time, which adds to its collectability. People have been collecting coins for centuries, and rare coins, particularly those with minting errors, have always been highly prized. If you've got one of these rare 1980 dimes in your collection, or if you find one in your change jar, you could be holding onto something worth a lot more than a dime. Alright, here's the moment you've been waiting for: just how much is the 1980 dime worth? If you happen to have one of these rare misplaced mint mark dimes, especially in pristine condition, or a double die error dime, you could be sitting on something truly valuable. Get ready for this: a well-preserved, error-free 1980 dime could be worth up to $39,000. Yes, that's $39,000 for a single dime. It's amazing to think that something so small could be worth so much. If you find one of these rare 1980 dimes with a minting error or in uncirculated condition, you could be looking at a serious payout. Imagine finding one in your change. So there you have it. The 1980 dime may look like just another coin from the past, but with the right minting errors, or if it's in perfect condition, it could be worth a lot more than you ever thought possible. Always keep an eye out for those rare misplaced mint marks or double die errors. You never know when you might stumble upon a small fortune. Today we've got a real treat for you, a coin that could be worth way more than its face value, the 1974 United States dime. It may look like just another dime from the 1970s, but trust me, it's more than meets the eye. Stick around until the end of the video to find out exactly how much this seemingly ordinary coin could be worth today. Spoiler alert, you won't believe your eyes when you hear the price tag. Before we dive into the exciting part, the coin's value, let's take a step back and set the stage. The 1974 dime was minted during a period of significant change in the U.S. The early 1970s were a time of political and economic turmoil, with the country facing inflation, the Vietnam War winding down, and the Watergate scandal making headlines. Despite the challenges, the U.S. Mint continued its work, producing millions of dimes in 1974, all featuring the familiar design we've come to know and love: Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse, and the classic torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse. But while these dimes were being produced in large quantities, certain rare versions of the 1974 dime have become highly sought after by collectors in recent years, making this seemingly standard coin a real treasure in the world of numismatics. Let's take a closer look at the design of the 1974 dime. On the obverse side of the coin, we see the image of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Roosevelt, who led the nation through the Great Depression and World War II, is honored on the dime with a design created by artist John R. Sinek. The inscriptions around the coin read, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and, of course, 1974, the year the coin was minted. On the reverse, we have the familiar symbols of liberty, peace, and strength, a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch. These images are a reflection of the core values of the United States. The design, created by Frank Gasparo, has been on the dime since 1946 and remains an iconic symbol of American resilience. Now, you may be wondering, what makes the 1974 dime so special? After all, it's just a regular coin with Roosevelt's face on it, right? Well, that's where the story gets interesting. The true value of the 1974 dime lies in some very rare minting errors and variations that occurred during production. One of the most famous variants of the 1974 dime is the 1974 D double die obverse error. What exactly does that mean? Well, the double die error happens when the coin is struck more than once, resulting in a doubling of the design. This is often most noticeable in the date and the Liberty inscription on the obverse. So, if you find a 1974 dime where the date or the word Liberty appears doubled, you might just have a rare and valuable coin on your hands. These double die errors happen when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned during the production process. The result is a coin that has a doubled design. This type of minting error is especially desirable to collectors because of its uniqueness. Coins with double die errors are highly collectible and can fetch a premium price in the market. Another error to watch for is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned in the press, causing part of the design to be missing or misaligned. Off-center strikes are considered unique and are another type of error that can significantly increase the value of a coin. Now, you might be asking, what about condition? How important is that when it comes to value? The short answer is, extremely important. Coins that have been well preserved are worth much more than coins that have been heavily circulated. This is especially true for coins with minting errors. A coin in mint condition, with little to no wear and tear, will be far more valuable than a worn-out dime that's been through years of transactions. If you happen to find a 1974 dime in uncirculated condition, it could be worth significantly more than a coin that has been passed through countless hands over the years. Coins that are free from scratches, discoloration, and heavy wear are considered high-grade coins and are much more valuable to collectors. So, what makes the 1974 dime stand out from the crowd? It's the combination of rare minting errors and the unique appeal of coins from this era. The double die errors are the most notable, but the off-center strikes and other small mistakes that happened during production add to the overall intrigue and value of the coin. These errors are what make the 1974 dime so special in the world of coin collecting. As with any rare coin, the key to its value is rarity and condition. A 1974 dime with one of these minting errors, especially if it's in pristine condition, could be worth a lot more than you think. It's not just a dime, it's a piece of history, with a mistake that makes it truly one of a kind. Alright, now for the moment you've all been waiting for, just how much is the 1974 dime worth? If you happen to have one of these rare error coins in pristine condition, you could be holding on to something truly valuable. The most sought-after 1974 dimes with double die errors and off-center strikes have been known to sell for a staggering $51,000. Yes, that's $51,000 for a single dime. Can you believe it? A dime that was worth just 10 cents back in 1974 could now be worth $51,000 if it's one of these rare, error-struck coins. It's incredible how a simple mistake in the minting process can result in such a valuable collectible. So, there you have it. The 1974 United States dime, particularly those with minting errors like the double die obverse or off-center strikes, could be worth $51,000, and possibly even more depending on its condition. If you find one of these rare coins in your collection or in your change jar, you might just have a small fortune on your hands. Today, we're diving into the world of US currency to talk about a seemingly ordinary coin from the 2005 series, the one dime. But don't let its small size fool you, because this little coin could be worth way more than just 10 cents, so, if you've got some old dimes lying around or you've come across one from 2005, stick around because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how much your 2005 dime could be worth today. Spoiler alert, it might just surprise you. Let's start with some background. The 2005 dime was minted during a unique period in American history. It was a time of economic stability in the United States, with the country recovering from the early 2000s recession. The 2005 series of coins continued to feature the familiar portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse, but what makes this particular coin interesting isn't just the year, it's the rarity and the errors that occurred during its production, which could be worth far more than you'd expect. 2005 was also the year the U.S. Mint produced some interesting new series of coins, such as the state quarter designs that were circulating alongside the dimes. But today, we're focusing specifically on the 2005 dime, which, while it might seem like a common coin, has garnered the attention of many collectors due to some fascinating quirks and errors that can make it worth a lot more than face value. So, let's take a closer look at the design of the 2005 dime. On the obverse, we have the image of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Roosevelt's likeness has been on the dime since 1946, following his death. The design was created by artist John R. Sinek, and it features Roosevelt's profile along with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the mint year, 2005. His image was chosen to honor his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, a man who represented strength and resilience. On the reverse, we see the traditional design by Frank Gasparo, featuring a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch. These symbols represent the values of liberty, peace, and strength, with the word "one dime" inscribed at the bottom. While the design of the 2005 dime hasn't changed much over the years, its rarity and potential errors are what truly set it apart from the rest. Now, let's get into the good stuff. What makes this coin so valuable? The key to the 2005 dime's value lies in minting errors and rare variants that occurred during production. Like most coins, the 2005 dime was produced in massive quantities, but certain mistakes made by the U.S. Mint have turned some of these dimes into highly sought-after collector's items. One of the most important errors to watch for in the 2005 dime is the double die error. A double die error occurs when the coin's design is struck twice during the minting process. This leads to a doubling effect in certain parts of the design, like the date or the word "Liberty." If you find a 2005 dime where the date looks slightly doubled, or the letters in "Liberty" appear distorted or thicker than usual, you've got yourself a valuable double die error coin. Another minting error that can make a 2005 dime worth more than face value is an off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned in the press, causing part of the design to be misaligned. In this case, you could have a coin with part of the design missing or shifted to one side, making it a unique and highly collectible piece. And don't forget about misplaced mint marks. These errors occur when a coin is struck with an incorrect or misaligned mint mark. For example, if a coin that should have a D mint mark, for the Denver Mint, is stamped with an S mint mark, for the San Francisco Mint, or a mint mark that's out of place, it becomes a rare and valuable find. Let's not forget the importance of condition in determining the value of a coin. While minting errors play a huge role in value, the condition of the coin itself can make a big difference in how much it's worth. Coins in mint state, that is, coins that have never been circulated and are in pristine condition, are always more valuable than coins that have been used and worn down over time. A 2005 dime in perfect, uncirculated condition could fetch significantly more than one that's been through years of circulation. So, if you come across a 2005 dime that looks shiny, clean, and free from scratches, marks, or discoloration, you might just be holding onto something very special. So, what makes the 2005 dime stand out in the world of coin collecting? It's the combination of minting errors and the relative rarity of well-preserved examples. Most dimes from this year were heavily circulated, which means that finding one in high-grade condition is a bit of a treasure hunt. But those that do survive in excellent condition, especially with minting errors or unique features, can be worth far more than the typical dime. In short, if you have a 2005 dime with a double die error, an off-center strike, or any other noticeable minting flaw, or if you've managed to keep it in uncirculated condition, you could be holding a valuable piece of US history. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for, the big reveal. Just how much is the 2005 dime worth? If you happen to have a 2005 dime with a minting error, or if it's in perfect, uncirculated condition, it could be worth an impressive $31,000. Yes, that's $31,000 for a single dime. It's amazing to think that a 2005 dime, which was originally worth just 10 cents, could now fetch such a high price if it has the right combination of rarity, condition, and minting errors. So, if you have a few old dimes hanging around, it might be time to check them over for errors and see if you have a hidden treasure on your hands. So there you have it, the 2005 dime is far more than just pocket change. With the right minting errors or in mint condition, this coin could be worth an incredible $31,000. Keep an eye out for double die errors, off-center strikes, or any other rare features, because you never know what you might find in your change jar. Today, we're going to talk about a seemingly humble coin that could be worth far more than its face value, a coin that's over 20 years old, yet could be worth a small fortune. I'm talking about the 2003 United States dime. That's right, this 10-cent piece might just be sitting in your collection, or even in your spare change, waiting to surprise you with its value. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how much this little dime could be worth, and it's a number you won't want to miss. Let's first take a look at the history of the 2003 dime. The 2003 dime was part of the regular circulating coinage issued by the United States Mint. At this time, the country was enjoying relative economic stability, with the dot-com bubble in the rearview mirror and the country gearing up for the Iraq War. The 2003 dime was minted during a time of relative peace in terms of US currency production, but don't let that fool you into thinking it's just an ordinary coin. There are some rare errors and unique characteristics that make certain 2003 dimes worth far more than you might think. Like other modern dimes, the 2003 dime features the famous portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse, which has been on dimes since 1946. Roosevelt, one of the most iconic presidents in US history, was chosen to grace the coin because of his leadership through the Great Depression and World War II. The design is simple, but elegant, with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and, of course, the year of minting, 2003. On the reverse, we have the familiar symbols of liberty, peace, and strength, a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch. These symbols have been a part of the dime's design since 1946, created by Frank Gasparo. These elements represent the unity of the country and the strength of its values, an enduring image that makes the dime a classic piece of US currency. So, what makes the 2003 dime so special? Well, it's all about the minting errors and rare variants that make some of these coins highly collectible, and highly valuable. While the 2003 dime was produced in huge quantities, certain errors during the minting process can turn an otherwise standard dime into a highly sought-after treasure. One of the most valuable errors in the 2003 dime series is the double die error. This occurs when the design on the coin is struck more than once, resulting in a doubling effect. The doubling is typically visible in the date or the word liberty on the obverse of the coin. If you notice that the date looks off or that the word liberty appears doubled or blurry, you might have a double die error dime, and trust me, these are highly prized by collectors. But the 2003 dime isn't just about double die errors. Another rare minting mistake to look out for is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned in the press, which can result in part of the design being shifted or even missing. Some off-center coins are highly collectible because they're essentially misprints. Each one is unique. Imagine owning a dime with part of the design completely missing or off-center. It's a cool error, and it can seriously increase the coin's value. You should also be on the lookout for coins with misplaced mint marks. This happens when the mint mark is stamped in the wrong location on the coin, or even when there is no mint mark at all when there should be one. A missing mint mark can be a rare find, especially when it's from a year like 2003, so don't overlook it if you find one. Now, let's talk about one of the most important factors when it comes to coin value: condition. The value of a coin can vary dramatically depending on how well it has been preserved. A 2003 dime that's been tossed around in your pocket or lost in your couch cushions for years is likely to have wear and tear. This can reduce its value significantly. However, if you find a 2003 dime that is in excellent, uncirculated condition, you could be sitting on a real treasure. Uncirculated coins, those that have been stored properly and never entered regular circulation, are always worth more than those that have seen wear and tear. In the world of numismatics, coins that look as if they just came out of the mint are the most desirable and, of course, the most valuable. So what makes the 2003 dime stand out among all the other dimes in circulation? It's all about the rarity of certain minting errors and the condition of the coins. While many 2003 dimes are still out there in circulation, those with mistakes or in perfect condition are becoming increasingly hard to find, making them highly attractive to coin collectors. The double die errors, off-center strikes, and misplaced mint marks are what truly make the 2003 dime a treasure in the eyes of collectors. Another cool fact. The 2003 dime is also notable because it's part of the modern era of U.S. coinage, meaning it's relatively young compared to older rarities like Mercury dimes or Barber dimes. As time goes on, more and more of these coins will be kept in collections, and their value will continue to rise, especially as error coins become more difficult to find. Alright, let's get to the moment you've been waiting for. Just how much can a 2003 dime be worth? If you happen to have a 2003 dime with one of the minting errors we've talked about today, or if it's in pristine, uncirculated condition, you could be sitting on a coin worth a surprising $23,000. Yes, that's $23,000 for a single dime. It might sound unbelievable, but that's the potential value of a rare error coin from 2003. Whether it's a double die error, an off-center strike, or a coin that's simply in perfect condition, a 2003 dime could fetch an impressive price when it comes to auction time or when offered to the right collector. So, there you have it, the 2003 dime is far more valuable than you might have thought. If you have a 2003 dime with minting errors or in pristine condition, it could be worth as much as $23,000. So go ahead, check your coin jars, your piggy banks, and your loose change. You might just have a rare and valuable dime that could make you a small fortune. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins and their hidden value, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more exciting coin discoveries. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy collecting.